Welcome to Talking Comics. We have Justin Koch with us this week. Before we jump into your comic and Kickstarter stuff, tell people about yourself, where you came from, and all that fun stuff.
Well, I'm from Missouri. I mean, I've spent most of my life here. Technically, I was born in Oklahoma. Big difference, right?
I love
So I'm a
Oklahoma.
lawyer. Yeah. I lived there for a while when I was very, very small. I don't remember living there, but I used to live in Southwest Missouri. I'd go over to Oklahoma to paintball all the
Yeah.
time, so right on the border. I'm a lawyer, have my own little practice here in Columbia, Missouri, which is where MU is, University of Missouri, if you follow college sports at all. It's a really nice town. I really enjoy living here. It's just right. It's like it's big enough to have one of everything, but no rush hour, or the rush hour lasts 15 minutes, or something like that. I'm enjoying it. But I I write comics, I read books, I theoretically lift weights, not as much as I should. And yeah, so
So how
there you
far
go.
are you from Uranus?
180 million miles. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You didn't get the joke. Uranus, Missouri.
Is that a town?
Well, it's like a tourist trap on the interstate between St. Louis and Oklahoma border. So
I must have missed that one. There's a lot of weird towns in Missouri. There's a Versailles, Missouri, which is spelled like Versailles. We got Japan, Missouri, instead of Japan. We got Bodark instead of however you're supposed to pronounce that in French. We got a lot of that. You just roll with it.
So I go to Missouri, or not Missouri. I go to Oklahoma quite a bit because I have family that lives in the Oklahoma City area, and I live in North Carolina, right off Interstate I-40, and I-40 runs right through Oklahoma City too. So my brother and I joke that we both live 2 miles off 40, just 1,300 miles between us, right?
Yeah.
Um, so coming home about 3 years ago from Oklahoma, I was like, I want to go a different route. I'm tired of I-40. So I went through took 44 up through Tulsa and Missouri, over through St. Louis, through Kentucky, back down to North Carolina. Just a different route. It's literally like 20 minutes difference of time. But there's like this Uranus fudge factory, which is on I-44 in Missouri somewhere. I don't know exactly where here.
Yeah, I just looked it up on the map. It's a little bit east. It's pretty east of Springfield, so that's probably
Yeah.
why. Like Southeast Missouri, you don't go to Southeast Missouri except for float trips. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
nothing against the area. It's just like,
There's not much there. There's a
there's
Buc-ee's out there
no,
somewhere now too, but
yeah, there's no way I would ever be driving through there to go anywhere. It would always
okay,
be
so you're in
something.
Columbia, just
Yeah.
east of St. Louis or west of St. Louis, right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
right between St. Louis and Kansas City, just kind of in the middle,
Yep.
right
I
there.
see it now. So yeah, Uranus, you're like just south of you is Uranus on I-44. But anyway, that was a joke that did not land. So
I didn't
sorry.
know it existed. I
I
thought you were
didn't
going
either until I
astronomical.
saw the sign when I was driving.
Yeah.
It's like, 100 miles to Uranus. I'm like, what is that? And of course, my kids wanted to stop. So now it's a thing. Every time I drive through there, we have to stop. So
Well,
I
they had
love road
fudge.
trips. Yeah, they had great fudge and they have some cool little museum things there. It's a roadside trap. If you know I-95 north and south on the North Carolina, South Carolina border, there's a thing called South of the Border. It's the same thing. It's just one of these, roadside tourist traps. But anyway. So a lawyer. So what kind of lawyer are you?
Bankruptcy, mostly.
Okay.
Done some federal criminal stuff, but that's mostly in the past. Uh, kind of got tired of they always well, there's always a phase where they want to be mad at the lawyer, right? Instead of the fact that they did it on tape and then confessed before they ever called me. Things like that. But somehow I'm supposed to law and order it and make it a big deal, you can, So uh but mostly it's not, it's what I've been doing for a long time. It pays the bills. I enjoy doing it and helping people, but it can be exciting, but mostly in a depressing way. So,
Right. I had a entertainment lawyer on here one time. That was awesome. But I'm a nerd when it comes to like lawyer stuff and like business stuff. And
Mhm.
like he was like, "You like this stuff way too much. You need to like chill." Because not many people are like nerd out on that side of the business.
Yeah.
So that's what I love to do. So what got you writing comic books?
Well, I started writing when I was 5. I had a short story about an alien abduction, and I kept writing and writing. I kept doing. I wrote like 10 novels in my 30s. 2 of them got published in incredibly pathetic ways that were just short of me paying them. I mean, I maybe made one electric bill off both novels combined. But I got tired of that, and then I'd always wanted to do comics, but the whole paying the artist thing really threw me off for a long time. Like, this is going to get expensive, which is very
Yeah.
true. It was accurate. But I started doing it, and it was so much fun. I just had an absolute blast with it. And I feel like this is my thing. Like, this is what I should have been doing the whole time. So that's when I started writing comics. My first series was Edge of Darkness, which we're gonna do eventually, but I wrote 18 issues of that, and then I was just sitting on the couch, uh, and I opened Superscript, which is the program I used to write comics, and then SWAT just kind of came out for 36 issues. It just went for like 18 months. I was writing issue after issue after issue after issue. And so Eldritch Blue would ideally be it's 6 issue arcs. I guess I'm not supposed to talk about how long it is because it scares publishers, but you know,
That's what they say.
yeah. But you could just do 6 and that'd be fine, Image, I promise. Um, but it's just meant a lot. It was an enormous amount of fun. It's the kind of experience that you dream of as a writer that you don't even think is like possible. It was that much fun. And I was just having an absolute blast with it. I was actually depressed for like a year after I finished it because I was just like, what the fuck do I do now? Uh, you know,
Now, is that
uh,
after writing all 36 issues?
yeah, I finished
You're done with all 36 writing?
oh yeah, yeah. I
That's
wrote
crazy.
36 issues back to back, and then I spent like a year being depressed, and I probably wrote 6 issues of anything in that time period. Not that they're bad, but it was just like it was not the same surge of creativity. It was like everything that I had pent up that I couldn't get out in a novel came out in this comic, and so it was a genuine joy to write it.
That's pretty neat. So the one that's on Kickstarter right now, is this the first issue or what is
Yeah,
this?
that's the first issue. It's it's 24 pager. We're just trying to build. It's already been done. So what we're doing is just sort of introducing Kickstarter to SWAT so that we can do issue 2's almost done, art wise. And so, kind of get Kickstarter or get it going on Kickstarter because we did the original campaign on Zoop, which is, they were perfectly lovely people, but I feel like you have to have your own fan base to bring to Zoop.
Right.
And I kind of, so we're moving over to Kickstarter, just to be, more accessible.
Interesting. I used Kickstarter for mine too, and I felt the same. It was pretty we had a $500 goal, and we made it. We did $1,000 in the time, but it was a lot of fun. I did it basically just to learn, how to do
Yeah.
it, and wrote a comic, and I hired an artist. Went through the same process went through. Talk to that. How'd you find your artist?
Um, I think I just cruised around advertisements until I saw her website, and then I saw her portfolio, and I'm like, this is exactly who I need. She hits the. It's serious enough to be serious, but it's also comic enough to be comic, and that really hit the mood of what I was going for. So I think stylistically, she's really merged with the SWAT very well.
And
Uh,
what's her name?
Rachel Disler.
Rich.
Uh, redtiebear.com is her website, like red TIE bear. Uh, but she's on Blue Sky and Twitter and all that stuff if you want to look her up. She's got a really fun art style that has been, a lot of fun to work with.
And is she going to do all 36 issues?
That is the plan, but
Sweet.
a lot of things have to happen for that,
Right.
Like, I think I did the math once, and it was going to cost $118,000 to do all 36 issues. Um, art, lettering, and just that, no printing or anything, just the art and
Right.
the lettering. So obviously we kind of got to get a ball rolling here, because I'm not going to be able to fund that, myself. Certainly not in any amount of time that I'd still be alive at the end of it, right? So,
Right.
um, you know, but I do hope one day that this would be, published. I think it's a caliber that is would be appropriate for that to happen.
Have you looked into
So
publishers?
yeah, but and I've had some interest from some people, but they always, it's like, it seems like the industry, I don't know, it seems like it's hard to get off the ground right now in the industry. I mean, Diamond Distributors went bankrupt. A lot of publishers, I know that there are publishers out there that are technically accepting submissions, but they're actually closed. They just don't tell you. So I don't know. I've maybe I should pitch it more, but I kind of just decided to. I had multiple people in the industry tell me, you just got to go establish yourself on Kickstarter before anything's going to happen. So that's why we're here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would try Invader. Have you heard of Invader Comics?
No.
Try Invader. I do a lot. I interview all their people, but they are fantastic, and they are open for submissions. So they do like once a month they do a Stitch Pitch Friday or something like that, where you make a video and send it in on Friday and to pitch your book.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot of successful books here lately that are in comic shops. Invader, Do Not Disturb, The Digger, T.S. Luther. Some people, Jared Rowe, David
Mm-hmm.
Flores. They seem to be. They're just one to look out at. They're a small time publisher, but they're making big moves, so it's pretty good. Something to look
Yeah.
into.
I definitely. Why not? Yeah. I'll
And they love that
bookmark
4 to
that.
6 book arc too. So
Yeah. So
that's what
awesome.
they're all that's what they've just done is they've put out a couple, 6 book ones, 4 book ones. Um and it's high quality stuff too. But that was the other thing. Have you looked at printing? Where are you going to go with printing?
Well, we already have some printed,
Okay.
but I think we did Comics Wellspring last time, and they were, perfectly good. So probably just with them. Um, at this scale, there's really no margin to it, right? I'm not going to be making very much money any which way.
Right.
So I just about getting the comic out there right now. So,
100%. So what about your writing? You said you started writing at 5. And then what's your writing process? Where does the stories come from? That kind of stuff.
Well, I guess, I mean, with SWAT, I mean, usually I'm just kind of sitting around and it just explodes in my head and I start going. And that's the good stuff. But I also have a lot of Lutstrom notebooks, these giant A5 notebooks, and they have page numbers and a table of contents, so you can keep track of, keep very organized. And I just sort of brainstorm my way through things in those books. So I got a ton of them, man. I got so many different. I have so many different ideas in like cool one-offs and stuff. The notebook collection's quite large at this point.
So do you start with a script or do you do an outline or how do you
I
start?
never outline. I just go.
Never outline.
I mean, sometimes when I'm stuck, I will sit there and write about what's going on. And I guess that's kind of outlining. And I guess, well, okay, I will outline a little bit. Uh, but mostly I just bum around in these notebooks, sort of brainstorming until the answer comes. It's like a puzzle to me where I'm sort of, working through, uh, trying to, I'm definitely more of a pantser than a planner, and I like that, especially in SWAT. I mean, that's a big part of the feeling is that it's just sort of uncontrolled chaos happening around them. And so the fact that it's not heavily planned actually helps, I think. But the structure ends up being there. I mean, I feel like, especially after the first couple of drafts, the structure evolves or it comes out, and it probably looks a lot more planned. I hope it looks a lot more planned when you read it than it actually was. Um, But the other series that I've written 3 on and would like to do or hire an artist on soon is Department of God, which is about 2 angels that are in charge of justice on Earth, and they're so backlogged that they're just murdering 90-year-olds, like evil 90-year-olds, for stuff they did in the 50s, and they're very frustrated. And so they decide to go on vacation, and this vacation sort of accidentally triggers the apocalypse, as it happens. Um, so I got 3 done on that, and the joke at the end is, I think, will be, uh, you know, when people who have seen it think it's pretty good. So, but I can't spoil it. So
Yeah, no, don't spoil it.
there's another one I did called Baby Gun, which is about a baby who makes guns appear in his hand, like that's a superpower, and so he shoots the doctor that delivers him on accident, obviously because he's a baby, and then he goes to jail, and so you have like this tatted up, kind of what's the baby from Jessica Rabbit? Not Jessica Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I know who you're talking
I
about.
Yeah, the kind of like
The baby smoking the cigar. Yeah.
yeah, that kind of guy. And so the CIA hires him so they can sneak him into buildings and have him operate guns for assassins and stuff like that. So that's issue 1. I've only gotten one done on that. That was more of a one-off, but I have a ton of different worlds going at one time. It's just having the time and the energy to do all of it is can be hard when you got all the other
And then the funds to hire an artist, right? Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I mean, it gets there, man. I mean, like especially these days when it's $13 for a pound of beef, it's kind of hard to. And of course, God bless, but a lot of artists are flakes, So there's always dealing with that.
Knock on wood. Sounds like the artist you found now, though, seems pretty good. And
yeah, she's a great artist. My other guy, she's delivers. The first guy I ever hired spent 9 months to deliver 5 pages, and it was crap. And so that was like 4 years ago. I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But the guy I hired to replace him is amazing. Leonardo Romanelli. He's this Italian artist. Delivers great work on time. Nice. I mean, he's a unicorn. I can't recommend him enough. So they're you just gotta don't hire somebody you're not sure of. It's like a dog, right? If you're kind of like, don't hire them. Like you need to really like the person. It seems to me like you really need to click, or it's probably not going to go well.
I got very fortunate myself. Artist interviewed him on here, and then he sent me a piece of fan art, which turned into him doing the whole book. So it was amazing. We had a great experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So hopefully we can keep it going with issue 2. I'm still writing issue 2, but I do one shots though. I'm not doing like 36 book series. So
yeah. I mean, it ended up being that it just kept going till it was done. Going. Part of what I really like about one of the things I really enjoy about comics is that even though it's completely imaginatively free, you can do anything. The weirder, the better. But it's also highly structured, right? You have 22 pages. You have to do a chapter of a story, go, and then everyone likes even numbers for their series. And so like, 6 times 6 equals 36, 20, it was all, my tisms were all just flared up. So I really enjoy this. It feels like coming out. It's like making a puzzle that fits together as you go. You're making your own jigsaw puzzle, and I really like that. So.
Talk about getting artwork back. Like, did you get it back by each page? How did that work? And what did you feel? How did it feel getting the pages back?
Yeah, well, usually there's kind of the way we do it lately, it's been like 6-page bursts, right? So she does 6 pages. I pay for the next set of pages. We go from there. Some of the new stuff is really cool. Okay. Chrome, sure, you can have audio record. Okay, never mind. I guess I can't share without doing a bunch of stuff that would make me have to reboot Chrome. But the new art's really tight, and I'm not very picky with it. I mean, I feel like my job as the writer is to give the artist enough inspiration to do something with it. And so, I feel like I've been happy with, well, not that first guy that I mentioned who I did hate. Other than that, it's been great.
Understandably so.
So it's always fun to look at it. But then you look at it and you're like, oh, I need to cut some dialogue for this page. I wrote too much, like an extra sentence or two in that panel. You got to keep it real tight. Um, so you get to the point where you can, like, the editor's going to say this, right? And then hopefully you just cut them off at the pass and just do it right the first time. So
Is she doing the lettering too, or are you getting somebody else to do that?
no, DC Hopkins, who probably has way more credentials than I do, has been my letterer. He does a really great job. I think it's really crisp. It's easy to read. Fits well with the art and everything. So I've been loving everything he's done. He's done 2 issues for me. Well, he's done both Edge of Darkness and SWAT. Yeah. So
Well, yeah, I loved your little intro video on the Kickstarter, how it started.
thank you. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe a little bit. It's sarcastic. It's about, I think it's about this moment, right, where everyone's just tired of everything being bullshit. And that's a major driver of the motivations of everybody in SWAT, is they're just tired of kind of keeping everything together with baling wire and twine and just putting up with all this crap. And so they're struggling to find a new way to be in this morass of, violence and that they're in. So, but it's also funny. I've been really leaning into the heavy stuff on these interviews. I don't know. It's also funny, I promise.
It is.
It's like kind of what we do in Shadows in a way. It's like that. It's like a Venture Brothers-y supernatural comedy about being a cop. So they're
give
not
the full pitch here. Go ahead and give the full pitch for the book.
okay. Well, it's okay. So it's kind of like, what if Harry Potter was just sort of a loser who survived a school shooting, and now he's a cop about to collect his pension in St. Louis 20 years later. And it's about his struggle to sort of find something to believe in again when he's been he's just on it. He's so tired, and he's just trying to find a way to be like human again. Although he doesn't realize that's all subtext, but it's him struggling to sort of figure out how to operate in this world of violence and very scary things, and then also be able to look himself in the mirror, you know. So there's a lot about monstrosity and feeling like you're a monster, but you're not actually a monster. You're just weird, and it's the first plot line is they are given an ultimatum where they have to fire somebody on the team, and instead of doing that, they call in a tip on a vampire that they know he has a bunch of bodies buried in his yard. So that it creates a red ball where they can't, everyone's getting overtime. You can't lay someone off right now. We've got to solve these 14 murders. And so that spirals out into this whole insane situation that, I would be spoilery to get into, but basically it gets really weird. There's Shagos involved eventually. So, it's kind of all it's a Lovecraftian world, but it's also sort of an absurd, ridiculous place.
I love
So
it.
kind of like real life.
True. Right. It's live on Kickstarter now. You'll have a couple weeks left to back it. Is this your first Kickstarter?
Well, I think we tried to do an Edge of Darkness, like right after I finished the Zoop campaign for SWAT, and it bombed. I was just very lazy with it, I guess. But this is the first real one, I guess.
Okay.
I would say. So.
And you're doing the marketing round. You're doing what you're supposed to, doing all these podcasts, and
yeah.
Are you doing Facebook stuff, ads, or anything like that?
Not ads. I mean, I don't know. I post to those groups for this kind of thing, but I also feel like the only people that actually look at those groups are people like me trying to sell their comic. I don't know how effective it really is.
Right.
I am posting on Blue Sky about it, but I don't know. I feel like the only thing that actually moves the needle are the podcasts. Like you can spam Facebook. Facebook's 90% horse shit at this point anyway, and everybody knows it. No one's really looking. So I don't know. I tried Reddit ads for the Zoop campaign, and they'll take your money, but they won't sell any comics.
Uh,
So it's hard to figure out how to actually do anything in the space besides just talk to other people, and that's
I
it, really it.
yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a very well said because all these social medias, the only people that see my stuff are the other people that I like their stuff, or we just like each other because we're friends and we do podcasts or we write
Yeah,
comics, right? It's like we'll support each other, but at the end of the day, we're trying to build a fan base and grow everywhere. And talking to people is the way to do it. I've started doing other people's podcasts, which has helped tremendously. So
yeah,
that's been really cool.
yeah. I mean, that's really it. Is just, I mean, that's the only thing that's actually like this time around. I knew people. I contacted them. They did like I have like 4 to 5 fans, I think, worldwide. But I have them, which was more than I had after the first, before the first campaign.
Right.
So it's just rolling a ball uphill, I guess. Just keep
Now,
going.
what about conventions? Have you ever thought about doing those? Getting a
I would love
booth
to
or?
do that. I feel like having a single comic issue, it might be a little thin,
I
to have your
agree.
own table on. So I feel like later on, hopefully it would be, once I have several series going, maybe, that would be more of a deal. But it's just been, I mean, I kind of, it's been, I think it'll be a lot better, but financially pouring thousands of dollars into comics has kind of been hard to justify. Hopefully in the future, it should be much better. And lately, it has been much better in the last year, and hopefully be even better in the future. But then again, like we're probably going into a depression, right? So like it's a great time to try to sell comics.
Right.
So
Yeah. I mean, I tell people or joke with people that my whole life, I'm the epitome of spending 5 grand to make $5, right?
mm,
So like I just got back late last night from Traverse City, Michigan, and I went to a 3-day convention, and so I advertise the podcast, right, at these conventions, but I also have one book, right? I wrote one book, so we sold in 3 days, we sold 17 books, which didn't even cover our booth fee, plus our gas and food and hotel and, all
yeah,
that stuff. But to me, it's more, I got to see a bunch of people that I haven't, seen in a long time, got to meet new friends, got to advertise a podcast to gain another fan. So I think I might be up to 6 fans, right, by now.
yeah,
So I hand out a crap ton of these little, advertising cards for me and my daughter, for the podcast and sell a few books, and it's a lot of fun. But like I said, I'm not going to make a living or, off of it.
it's very hard to do. Yeah. So
I find doing the 1-day local shows to be the most beneficial lately, especially because, if they're local, you only have to, you don't have to get a hotel, right? You might have to buy dinner, right? Or a lunch. But, you pay $50, go get a table at your local 1-day comic book show, and you're just spreading the word, making friends,
yeah.
and you might break even, and it spreads, it's like that guy digging in the looking for gold, you just can't stop, right? So,
Yeah, you've like I mean, we write comics and do this stuff because it's our passion. It's definitely not. We should have gotten into mortgage finance if we were just doing it for the money. So
yeah, I'm just bitter right now because I just got laid off like 3 weeks ago. So,
oh
and so I mean I was there for 10 years and dedicated 10 years of my life to something that now I'm like got nothing to show for it. So now I'm going all in on the comic business. We'll see how that works out.
well, I mean, yeah.
Good luck, right?
I mean, I don't. It just seems like it's. I don't know, dude. It's hard.
It is.
Um, I don't know. Like Carissa Grant is it Grant or Gant? There's a few people that make a living
Yeah,
doing
for
indie
sure.
comics, uh, and I don't know how they do it, but they do. So
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm having fun with my daughter. My daughter and I do a weekly show together too, so that's what really keeps us going. We
Mhm.
have a lot of fun. I do 2 episodes a week. We do an interview like this a week, and then I do a show with my daughter a week. So it's something fun that we get to do. And like I said, I'm not gonna make a killing, but that's fine. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do, but just you know, not gonna stop doing this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I mean, if you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. You know, and it's the kind of it's like well, it's like with weightlifting. You know, you might start out feeling weak, but if you keep going, eventually you're deadlifting 600 pounds.
got to gain the XP, got to get the
Yeah,
reps in, right?
yeah, exactly.
I have
So
a
yeah, I mean,
go ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, this time around, even though the Kickstarter is not, it's like 35% done at this point, which is not too bad, I guess. But it's been a lot easier, I think, I feel like I've been more able to get stuff going on my own and not just relying on Jeff. And, people recognize me now a little bit every once in a while, and so it's a building process. And I mean, the social side of things is not really my jam. It's not my my best area. So, you have to roll with it and just to get better and accept that you're going to take a while to get where you need to go on that.
What's the one piece of advice you'd give somebody starting out right now or inspiration for others?
Well, I be ridiculous. Put yourself in a position to be made fun of. Don't hold back because you're afraid somebody's going to think, oh, he likes his girls or whatever. I know that's not a great example, but just throw yourself out there. Be passionate. Be genuine, and somebody will respond to it. Probably, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, you
um,
get one
you
person.
know, but in terms of writing, like if you cut irrelevance and vagueness from your writing, which is doable for anybody, that will enormously increase the quality of your writing right there, right? Like, um, there's that thing, the meme that floats around that you see referenced occasionally about how like there's a blue curtain in a story, and that English professor, that snotty English professor, is trying to say that the curtain's blue because the character is depressed or something. No, sometimes the curtain's just blue. And
Right.
I loathe that. I mean, like if you post that as a writer, I lose all respect for you immediately because it's getting the question wrong. It's not why is the curtain blue? It's why are you telling the audience there's a curtain at all? And if the answer is nothing, delete that shit. Like there's no point to it, if it's not doing anything to advance your agenda, delete it. And then if you do that and just get all the crap, waffling, where you're like, she was like a bird or maybe a flower, pick one, just pick one. Waffling, vagueness, irrelevancy, those are the things that anybody can kind of get out of their writing without it being, there's nobody where they're like, the style is everything's irrelevant. Like that's bad writing, period. So that would be my advice on a practical level is this advancing an agenda of mine? And if not, fuck it. Get rid of it. So,
There you go. I like it. I have a couple fun questions that I ask everybody that comes on. But before that, is there anything we didn't talk about that you want to talk about or need to talk about?
I don't need to, but after 20 minutes of talking about how heavy SWAT is, I'd like to tell you about the sequel I recently finished, which is called The M Files, which is about Mimi, who when she was a kid, she was a Jehovah's Witness in Missouri, Mount Vernon. You probably drove past it on your way to
I think
Oklahoma,
so,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so in the 80s, the Jehovah's Witnesses had an urban legend that if you took a Smurf doll into their church, the Kingdom Hall, that's what they call it. They don't like it when you call it a church, but anyway, it would come alive and start trying to bite people and like cursing Jesus and stuff like that. So I took that, and then I had Mimi as a Jehovah's Witness accidentally, as her first act of magic, turn this Smurf doll that this guy brought into the Kingdom Hall to talk about how evil it is alive. It then attacks and terrorizes the entire congregation. It escapes. It finds a Smurfette doll at a toy store. They fornicate, and a wave of like 5 million Smurfs take over the city. So that's the basic premise. So it's that, and it's also sometimes very serious, but it's also ridiculous. So if you're looking for a fun time, it's still SWAT.
Right. There you go. I
Yeah.
love that. We didn't really get into like how did you get into comics? Like what was your like first were you a fan of comics as a kid or
I was really into the newspaper comic page in the 80s. I eventually realized it was really lame. I mean, I kind of knew it even when I was into it. It was like, this is kind of lame. But I mean, I loved Calvin and Hobbes. Everyone loves Calvin and Hobbes. That's accepted. Far Side accepted. I'm talking about like Mary Worth and Gasoline Alley and Beetle Bailey and the stuff that they're still rerunning stuff from. Anyway, so I was into that. I did not get into comics as a kid because it was too expensive. It was like $1.75. My allowance was $5 a week, so I could either get enough comics to entertain me on the drive home from the grocery store, or I could get a paperback novel, which was $4.25 at that time. That's my cane. But so I just economically went into novels because I couldn't entertain, comics. I just didn't have enough money. But I was always into it. I was really into Sandman when I was in high school. But they didn't have a comic store where I was from. Like whatever they had at Walden Books was it. And the graphic novel section was about this big at Walden
right,
Books.
100%.
So I didn't even
Man,
know
I haven't
anything.
heard Walden Books in a long time.
I was a member of their value club. I used to get like $20 in gift certificates in the mail on a regular basis because of how much I spent there. But anyway, uh, so I always liked it and I dabbled in it, but I didn't get back into it until I was like 40. And I walked into the comic store and I saw those library editions of Harrow County. And I'm like, I'm gonna try that. And I just sat there and read it. I was like,
Tyler
I
Cook.
need, yeah, I need to do this. Colin Bunn, he's from Springfield, actually. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know
Uh,
that.
but
I just know. So one of my good friends is his sister is married to Tyler Cook. So
oh, small world.
yeah, right.
Uh,
So that's why I like the Alcatraz book he just wrote last year was a phenomenal
his art
out
style
of
is
Alcatraz.
really, really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Um, hell, if you know him, I mean, maybe I get his email from you. Anyway, but
Yeah, we can talk
yeah,
about it.
Harrow County was kind of got me back into comics, and like realizing there was all this awesome stuff that I didn't even know existed was
That
so I
wasn't superhero, right?
yeah
Like, yeah.
I've been plowing through the DC compact editions. Like I've got almost
Oh,
all
they're
of them.
so good.
Yeah, I mean some of them suck, but you only lost $10, so fuck it.
Right,
Right?
right.
I'm just like I will buy it, and if I hate it, whatever.
I just bought
Uh,
the Watchmen one. I can't wait to read it. But I'm on a
Watchmen's
Thor
great.
journey right now. So
Most of it's really great. I now know way more about the Bat family than I ever imagined existed. I did not realize it was that many. There's that many people. Like Batgirl and Batwoman are two separate people, apparently. I don't know.
right.
Nightwing, Batman Jr. There's like 5 Robins. I mean, it's crazy. Um, but yeah, I've been plowing through a lot of that, and it's really, really good. So, I mean, I don't have anything against superheroes. It's just like it's like getting into Magic the Gathering. It's like intimidating
Very.
to get into if you're just walking in. You feel like if you don't instantly know 70 years worth of history, you're a piece of shit. So I've been kind of leaning into that a little bit, but uh, the indie comic scene's amazing, and I love a ton of. I pretty much will buy anything. I occasionally I get a stinker, but that's just life, right? That's just going to
Right.
happen.
You're out $7,
Um,
right?
yeah.
Like
So, I mean, I am probably covering my comic shop's electric bill every month because I drop $200 or $300 at least.
yeah,
Um,
I feel the same.
Total. And this is a problem with like getting kids access to it. I think that's why I love the DC Compact stuff because like you
Right.
could, as a kid, you could actually afford that, right? Whereas if you tried to buy that in the bigger stuff, that's probably $80 worth of comics.
Yeah, 80, 100. I mean, I'm buying right now, I'm reading the Thor omnibuses. And I mean, they're
Yeah,
like $100 a piece,
yeah.
And the
It's just
epic
not it.
collections are $40 to $50 a piece. It's crazy.
Yeah, we really need to figure out as an industry how to get comics into the hands of kids. You know, because it's going to become like Star Wars, where it's just a bunch of 50-year-old dudes. It kind of already is at some degree. I mean, that's not really true. There's tons of people, young people who are into comics, but if we went harder at making it accessible, I think that would be a really good idea.
I think that compact version's a good way to start. And then like,
I'm
my local shop, and I think every shop does it. I hope every shop does it because I put it on my cover on my book and I get crap about it all the time. But um the my shop has a dollar box, right? So like
Mm.
part of my comic is references my mascot Panel P lives in a
Oh,
comic box, okay? So
okay.
or he lives in a comic, but he's found in a dollar box.
Mm.
Everybody gives me crap. They're like, "Oh, your comic's only $1." I'm like, "No, it's $6.99, but he lives in a dollar box, and they think it's $1." It's
Well,
my mom
yeah.
destroyed me over that too, so it's all right.
Well, that's yeah. I can. They're kind of dumb for bringing it up, but also they're definitely going to like that's. They're definitely going to bring that up.
Yep.
Like so. I don't know.
But having a
But
dollar box in a comic shop definitely helps, with the kid that walks in with $3 in their pocket, can't
yeah,
afford a comic off the shelf, right? Because they're $5 now, which is
yeah.
ridiculous. But
Well, I mean, given printing costs, man. But I
yeah,
mean, the thing is, like those DC compacts, they don't cost that much more to print than a single issue.
right.
Like I priced it. They're
Okay.
not any, they're not that different ultimately. Um, I mean, so I feel like that might be the format of the future. Like that's how you compete with manga, because that's I think their main thing is it's you can afford to do it when you're working at Wendy's, whereas with like Western comics you just can't.
Right.
So they really need to look at that. Like that would be my 5 alarm fire would be affordability. I mean, I guess digital comics help with that, but they're just not the same, you know.
Right.
But if you want the PDF of SWAT, though, that's totally fine with me. Like the profit margin on that is exactly the same as buying the issue. So, um, however it needs to happen, but we need to make it affordable again.
I
You know.
agree. I agree. Well, so my fun questions, you already answered a couple of them, but do you have like your favorite superhero or your first favorite comic character? Was it Harrow County? Was it,
Well, I really love Harrow County.
I think it's Alan
I
Moore.
love Sandman. His novels I did not like at all. I was so bored with those. After a while, I stopped reading those in like 2006. I'm like, okay, nerdy guy needs to realize he just needs to believe in himself, and then all the problems are solved. Okay, I got it. But anyway, Sandman's awesome. But I don't know, superhero wise, honestly, I really like Nightwing. He's like uncomplicated Batman, right? He's like broke ass Batman. He lives in a studio apartment. He's good at gymnastics. He's reasonably well adjusted. He's not all gothy and emo. He's just there to fight crime. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was simple.
Do you
Um,
do you have a favorite current series? Is it Nightwing or have you read Absolute Batman or
well, Absolute Batman's awesome. Yeah, I have been reading that. Um, Absolute Martian Manhunter has been pretty cool. Um, I would say most of my superhero stuff is the DC Compact Edition. So I'm basically 20 years in the past as far as that goes, I guess, because that's all from like 2005 and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. One of my favorite comics going right now is Department of Truth, uh, which is James Tynion. That one's awesome. I mean, that's insane. That was one of my early loves this time around. And then, geez, let's see. What have I got here? This is my pull from this week.
today is
Monstrous.
Wednesday?
Yeah. Pretty Hate Machine. This has been interesting. Hyde Street's really cool. Florida Cocaine Hippo Massacre. Also fun. And then this one's a new one. I don't know anything about this. I haven't read it yet. Did you hear about Mimi Green? So I don't know. That one was kind of I'm going to take a swing on this and just see what happens type purchase. So Sacrificers, I don't know. That'd probably be my favorite current comic. That was a running one, or one of the favorites. Rick Remender's always good. James Tynion's always good. Colin Bunn. There's Ram V. God, who's the guy doing assorted crisis events?
I don't know.
Um, I feel like I'm really remiss here because he's been killing it. But there's tons of great stuff coming out. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to get something bad right now, I think, especially in the indie universe. All right, if you could live in any comic book universe, what would it be?
It wouldn't be SWAT. I can't say that.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love when people say that. It won't be the one I wrote.
um, I don't know. Geez, I don't. That is spacing me out. They're almost all horrible, is the
Right?
thing, because otherwise there's not really much of a story. Um,
I've had
I'm
some
gonna.
people say like the Sunday cartoon ones, right? Like the
Oh
Peanuts
God,
or, Calvin and
that's
Hobbes or something.
Calvin and Hobbes. Would I mean that's just saying the real world. That's like saying your favorite band's the
Right?
Beatles. Uh, that's lame. Um, they're also weird. Paper Girls. Let's do Paper Girls.
That one's
That
an
was
interesting one. I read the first
yeah,
issues of that.
yeah. That series is worth reading. Big Heart Sex Criminals. I don't know. Maybe just for the sex, I guess. But I don't know.
There you go. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Um, I mean, I guess I gotta say, like Superman's pretty, omni. Maybe do Viltrumites have a weakness? Do they have a kryptonite? Because they're basically
I'm not
Superman
sure.
without kryptonite.
Right.
If they're Superman without, well, then I have to be a fascist. Okay, I don't know. No, Green Lantern.
Green
Yeah, that'd be
Lantern.
solid.
Okay. Which comic book character, could be any character, sidekick or regular mainstream character, would you want as your sidekick?
That I can say Mimi from SWAT. Like
Okay.
she is a she is a good partner, and she also has insane magical powers that are, she can kind of blow up stuff if she needs to. So she'd be a solid choice.
All right, so last one. If your life were a comic book, what would the title be?
Oh, what was the title? Exquisite Boredom is the title of my biography. Yeah, Exquisite Tedium, I think was what I came up with. Uh, it's not a great name, but I mean, most of my childhood was going to school, and then I was a Jehovah's Witness. So Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, church, school Monday through Friday, and then I had to mow 13 acres of grass twice a week. So basically, I spent a lot of time staring at walls or into the distance, coming up with insane daydreams. Which, positive side, I can write SWAT now. Downside is I basically have like induced ADHD or something, where like I can't go to church. I just I don't like lectures, which was kind of hard in college, that you just spaz out and stare at the wall during lectures and stuff like that. So it's a mixed bag, but yeah, I spend a lot of time staring at walls.
So I assume you
Uh,
don't. You're no longer a Jehovah's Witness, or
no, it's been 32 years. I mean, we
well,
left when I was like 14 or something. So
okay.
um, yeah, it was such a it's like they think that if it's really, really boring and lame, that you clearly are there because you love God. Like their entire aesthetic is boring. The Kingdom Halls are like a Holiday Inn convention center. The music is terrible. No one can sing. There's no choir. No one's training anybody. We sounded awful. Everything about it was just as lame as possible, like by choice. It's genuinely, it's bizarre. Uh, Not a big fan of the organization, but it was a really weird experience, honestly, that has informed a lot of my life, I think.
Interesting. That's for another whole episode, I'm sure. Um,
Yeah,
or a different podcast. I'll start a different podcast to talk about
yeah.
that one. The religious podcast. I don't know, or anti-religious podcast.
You
Uh,
could definitely have an ex-cult member interview podcast and have an infinite amount of material. We wouldn't
right?
just be Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, Scientologists. I mean, there's a buttload of them, and they all are weird as hell. So you would infinite material. You
Infinite
could do that.
material.
Yeah, it's like Leah Remini. You remember that Scientology show she did?
Don't. I
Oh, she
I
did all.
wish. I need to look it up. What's it called?
Um,
Limony?
Leah. Well, going clear. Let me see. Okay, Scientology in the aftermath is. It was like a whole series, probably 10 years ago. This is one of those. I think it's recent, but it's actually been ages things. I think. I still had cable when it was out, so it's been a long time. But anyway, they did after
Cable? What
that.
is cable?
Yeah, pretty much. But and then she did a season on the Jehovah's Witnesses as well. But I mean, I'm sure there's just absolutely loads of documentaries about various cults at this point.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it's always, I don't really like it because
You
it's a
kinda
little
lived
close
it.
to home, but
Right.
it's fascinating for other people.
Right. Yeah, I'll stick with the comic podcast for now. We'll see. I'm trying to
Yeah,
do
that
some
might be a little
content
dark.
stuff, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm not above starting another podcast, but you know,
I mean, it's there for the taking. You could go to any number of ex Jehovah's Witness or Mormon subreddits and pick up all the interviews you want. So,
that's something I need to get on is Reddit. I've never been good at doing Reddit, so
it's post peak. I'm actually I'm quitting for the fifth time. It's my crack. It's my internet
wow.
crack.
Okay.
I've deleted at least 500,000 upvotes on my accounts, over the years. Probably more than that, honestly. But eventually, it's increasingly bottish. Like
Mm.
you're increasingly wondering if you're even talking to anybody at all, and when they are people, they're idiots mostly. So I'm less. It's on the downhill slope, I think, as a site, which is just the life cycle of the internet, right?
The internet. Yep. Well, go back, SWAT right now. Go to Kickstarter. The link will be below. I'll link the video and the Kickstarter page. Are you on Instagram at all, or
No,
you're
no,
not on
not really.
Instagram?
I
Okay,
should.
so
Well, I am, but I don't post anything. I'm pretty bad at the social media stuff, man. I'm not good at it.
no
Uh,
worries. Well, I will at least link to. Do you have a website?
yeah, weirdshark.art. I'll
Okay,
put it in the chat,
yeah,
and then
do
I'll just
that.
give you the links.
Send me the links, and that way I can put them in the show description. And go.
Art.
Um,
And do you have the Kickstarter?
I do. I have the Kickstarter
Okay.
pulled up right now. Yeah,
And then yeah, just give them my Blue Sky. And
Blue
then
Sky. Okay.
yeah.
I've
Once
not been
again,
on Blue Sky very much. I've tried. I don't know. Just can't get over there. I don't know why. I need to get
well, I
better
don't know.
at it.
Once again, I'm social media handicapped, so don't take my word for it. But it's like Twitter, but with way less,
Okay.
So
I have an
basically, not like.
account. I just haven't really done anything with it. I'm on
I think it's got a
Instagram,
pretty
Facebook.
It seems like the comic scene's pretty, doing pretty well, as
Okay.
far as getting to know people. I found my editor through there, and stuff like that. So it might not be the most get views social media, but if you want to like actually interact with comic people, that might not be a bad choice.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. Follow the links below, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And when you get your next book ready or your next Kickstarter launch, let us know. We'll have you back. I have a updated list of questions for people that return, so you got to remember your answers. Not really, but but thanks again for joining. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to Talkin Comics Podcast, powered by Aquatia Media, helping creators make waves.